adoption.
Hold on. You're
they
not going
don't
to
go
speak.
into foster care.
You don't get to speak for my child. You don't get to speak for my child. Let's start right there.
Pro-life activist Lila Rose was surrounded by a bunch of pro-choice activists, and it got fiery. Let's talk about it. I love what Jubilee does sometimes where they have one person surrounded by 10, 20, like up to 30 people that are going to be debating them about stuff. Lila Rose is the best voice probably for the pro-life movement. And I say that knowing full well there's other great people out there like Trent Horn, for example, but I think there are none better than Lila Rose for the pro-life movement. And I appreciate what this conversation had. But again, some of the viewpoints are so disturbing from pro-choice people. And I really do have a lot of sympathy for pro-choice people in a certain sense, but just the arguments, I can't get behind them. And you'll see why in this video.
Hi, what's your name?
Jack's
It's fascinating, by the way this conversation evolves. She's so nice right now, and it's about to get really uncomfortable.
Prince. Nice to
Jax,
meet you.
nice to meet you. I'm Lila.
So, based off, you've given incredible points. Genuinely and truly, I'm learning quite a bit.
Thank you.
So, for the people that you say have the abortion young, how old do I look, out of curiosity?
You're never supposed to answer that, right?
That's a weird question.
No, go ahead. By all means.
Will you tell me you'll do me if I do you?
Yeah,
Okay.
deal.
All right, you are 25.
I appreciate that. At about 10 more years. So,
Okay.
by
You
your
look
logic,
awesome.
thank you.
You look amazing.
By your logic, I should be in that age range of people who abort, let's say, who should be feeling the regret and everything. If I had carried to term, I would be labeled a drug-addicted black mother, and if I had kept the baby, I would have been labeled a incompetent single mother. So my question for you is, what is your perception of how I should feel about my abortion?
So a couple things. First of all, sometimes the regret happens later in life. It's not within even 5 or 10 years. The trauma they feel might come out later when they have their own other children or grandchildren. So every woman, it's going to be different.
Real quick, Lila Rose is arguing the point that abortion leaves women scarred for life. So that's why this lady's coming up and saying, I don't feel bad about it. So what do you think I should feel about my own abortion?
Sometimes it's immediate, sometimes it takes years. I mean, I think you're amazing. I think if that's what you've overcome in your life, I think that's incredible. And you should be proud of overcoming so many tough things in your life. It does break my heart that if you're sharing you had an abortion, that there could be a child, I don't know how old they'd be, 10 years old today, who would be cheering you on, saying, go get him, Mom, you got this.
I can promise
And
you that would not be the case, because I can almost promise you that would not be the case, because I say again, I'm in a domestic violence shelter. I've got a dog I can barely take care of. You're You're expecting me to sit here and let you tell me how I'm supposed to feel. You're trying to scare me.
I'm not telling you how to feel.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
I'm not telling you how to
With
feel.
your statistics,
But
and
I
your
am telling you that your
with
baby,
your statistics and
baby
your
had a right to
information.
You see how like the niceness is totally gone now. It was always going to be like this.
live.
With your statistic and your information,
Your baby had a right to live.
you are completely wrong. Because yes,
and I wish someone
Your baby had a right to live, and she responds, you are completely wrong. She thinks her baby, that's what she's saying, her baby did not have a right to live. You are completely wrong is how she answered that.
live.
with your statistic and your information,
Your baby had a right to live.
you are completely wrong. Because yes,
and I wish someone
yes.
had been helping you more.
Listen,
That's
listen,
the other thing.
listen, but you weren't
deserve
there. That's
more
just
help.
it. Everybody always likes to say, "Oh, keep the baby, give it up for adoption." I
But-
know what our foster care
that-
system is like.
but when you- just to be
can't
clear,
tell
when
me.
you-
Again, I can't stand that foster care system argument. Foster care system argument, it's better to be dead than to end up in the foster care system. Think about that. And this is spoken as someone who did spend some time in the foster care system. The idea that the foster care system, it's better if you just were dead instead of being in the foster care system. Again, me personally, I have been in the foster care system. I'm glad I wasn't dead.
I mean, I would have a child cheering me
Just to
on.
be clear,
in
when
this
you place
instance.
a child
you
for
can't,
adoption,
hold on. You're
they
not
don't
gonna
go
speak,
into foster
You
care.
don't get to speak for my child. You don't get to speak for my child. Let's start right there. You don't get to speak for my child saying, "Oh, mommy would be cheering you on," or everything like that. You don't fucking know that. You don't know that at all. You don't know what my child would be. I may not even have my child, because I was so unfit at the time. Drug addiction, sex work, everything like that. Yes, I'm a proud pro-ho. That is exactly what I do. But you're telling me how my child would feel. And what gives you the right? What?
Is this a woman that is not scarred from making that decision? Think about that, for example. Is this a woman that is not scarred from the decision that she made to have an abortion? She's just going to say, no, I'm totally chill with the decision that I made. No, I'm not scarred. Think about it. Lila Rose is saying your baby had a right to live, and she is flipping out over the fact that Lila Rose is speaking even for her child that she killed. And she's saying, again, is this the evidence of a woman who is not scarred from abortion. It just didn't scar her. She clearly already is. She was just putting on a front beforehand.
What gives you the right? What gives you the right?
I would love to respond.
She's not even letting her answer.
To you. I would love to respond to you. I think, yes, your child had a right to life. And I would say that I wish there were more people helping you at the time. It sounds like you were at a really rough time in your life. And I think that you mattered, that baby mattered, and you both deserved more help. That's what I would say.
That's what you would say. But you're saying my child be cheering me on
I would
right now.
hope that if you chose to parent.
You just said you would hope.
I would hope
you
that.
would hope. So all of this is going off of hope.
Please return to your seat.
And then she gets all sweet again. Again, the idea that she's not scarred from this is just unbelievably insane. She clearly is. No one is talking in that way unless they are really scarred from the decision that they made. How could you go from like fake happy to flipping out, the real feelings come out, and then when it's over, you see how she reacted? Look
All
at
of
this.
this is going off of hope.
Please return to your seat.
Thank you. Again, that's scarring. I'm not trying to make fun of her, but that's exactly like what a heavy emotional a response from a hurt person looks like. It just is.
Hello, what's your name?
Miriam.
Miriam, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So I just want to start off, and you're saying that a lot of women have abortion regret, right? So I'm going to tell you about what happened to my best friend's mom. She had a late-term abortion, which I know you don't find morally acceptable, but her
How far
baby,
along was she?
I'm not sure the exact week, but she was told that her child would not live for more than 1 hour. However, if she gave birth to that child, she would never be able to have children again. That is literally what they told her. I'm so glad that she was able to get an abortion because my best friend wouldn't be alive if her mother wasn't able to have an abortion before she was even born. So I just yeah, there are some women who regret abortions, but we shouldn't just ban all abortions because of some of those women regretting it.
So
there are many women.
I'd love to respond. I've heard so many stories of medical professionals who tell the woman, you have to have an abortion, X, Y, and Z is their opinion, right? Mm-hmm. And then I talk to many other medical degree? And I talk to many other medical professionals. Do you have a medical degree? If I can finish, I talk to many other.
I always love it when people say that. Do you have a medical degree? Do you have a medical degree? And 99% of the time, the person telling you that or asking you that question also doesn't have a medical degree. Again, so why are they talking about it?
I talk to many other, and I talk to many other medical professionals. If I can finish, I talk to many other medical professionals who say, if you have a high-risk pregnancy or there's a disability that the baby has, there is healthcare for you to protect both your life and the baby's life. That's what women deserve. They don't deserve to be told by the abortionist or the doctor, just kill this baby. That's the solution. Have the abortion. So we can do better for both the mom and the baby.
But isn't she protecting
Dr. Anthony, just as an example, Dr. Anthony Levatino, he worked with tens of thousands of high-risk pregnancies in upper state New York, dealing with these very high-risk pregnancies. He said in the number of pregnancies where we had to do an abortion was 0. Sometimes we would have to do an early delivery, but we would never have to intentionally kill the baby to deal with the health risk for the mother.
So medically necessary, right?
So correct. And so as an example, your friend, right? You said she had a late-term abortion because her baby had a health issue and was going to die, and then otherwise she would have an issue. The doctor, and Dr. Anthony Levatino as an example, could have done an early delivery to give that baby a chance at life instead of intentionally killing that baby in
I don't
utero,
understand how you can sit
does.
here across the table
There are thousands
and
of medical
tell
professionals
me
who fight for both the life of the baby and the mother.
So Lila Rose is saying, Dr. Anthony Levatino, for example, who did many abortions, says that you can just do an early delivery instead of just saying abortion. You can try and to see if the baby will survive without having to do an abortion and without having to wait till the very end when it would be way more dangerous for the woman.
What my best friend's mother could have had done to her.
She deserved better medical care. She deserved better medical care than what she was told. That it was unfair and wrong what she was told. And she wasn't given a choice.
She was given a choice.
No, they told her you're going to die. They told her you have to have this abortion. That's what they told her.
Informing her medically, she cannot deliver children if she had not had that abortion.
Did you know that?
So why do you think that she should have a
just to be clear, in a late-term abortion, you have to remove the baby, right?
Yes.
And what is the difference between a late-term abortion where you remove the baby dead and an early delivery where you can remove the baby alive? One is an abortion and one is a life-saving act.
That's a good question. If you're a pro-choice person, I want to know what your answer is to that. What is the difference between early delivery and a late-term abortion?
She deserved was a life-saving act for both her and that baby. And an early delivery could have been what she needed.
I agree because she wanted that child.
And
However,
that's why it's devastating that they told her that.
but
It's wrong that they told her
however,
that.
no, but they were right.
No, how can you say that when there are
Because I know
thousands of medical
was
professionals who say that abortion is not medically necessary? It's not my opinion. It's thousands of medical professionals who say that.
I really appreciate that Lila Rose is saying, look, this is not me saying this. I'm listening to a lot of doctors who are saying this. And we know doctors disagree on stuff. But when it comes to this, I'm very curious to know what you think. Leave your thought in the comments here. Do you have some disagreement with this idea that whenever in those kinds of situations when a late-term abortion is suggested or even really pushed pretty hard on the mother, that they can just try an early delivery and then that's a much better decision to make, and that it is a life-saving act rather than inherently a life-taking act?
That's time.
I appreciate that, but you're not a doctor and you weren't her doctor.
Again, she's speaking from the word of doctors. She's not saying, Lila Rose isn't saying that she is a doctor. She's saying these are what doctors tell me.
Thousands of medical professionals who say you can care for both mother and baby.
That's fine, but it's you.
You see that? She's saying, no, this is what a lot of doctors tell me. So you're speaking from the story of one person's doctor. I am coming at this from the perspective of so many doctors, a huge amount of doctors. And the girl says, that's fine, but she doesn't know what to say. Of course, the abortion issue is very emotionally charged. And I even feel emotions when I have these conversations as well. But it is very clear sometimes that there is this feeling within people, this urge or this moral concern that they have, even though they may be pro-life, about abortion, to where they're not fully comfortable with it and they defend it in very strange ways like this, where they do seem to abandon their reason in ways that are very troubling. Well, let me know what you think. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, consider supporting on Patreon. I'm very curious to hear what you have to say. God bless you. I love you. And Lord willing, I will see you soon. Take care. Goodbye.